So this is a look at Sri Lanka and a beautiful ritual here as the bibs are handed out ahead of the game. You don't see every team doing that, Pam Cookie.
No, you don't. Such respect they have for each other. So we see here Sri Lanka, you've got Sivalingam coming on top goal shooter scorer in this competition. Mendes at goal attack, Wanathaleka at wing attack. The lady that's played every single quarter of every game, Amawansa at centre, Rajaska at wing defence, Disanaya at goal D, and Jayasura at goalkeeper, who's their captain.
And what's special about Sivalingam today is this is test number 100. What an achievement for this woman. She missed the last World Cup, but she was there in Singapore 8 years ago when she was the shooter of the competition, and deservedly so, and who knows, she's on course to be that again here in Liverpool.
And so for Fiji, at goal shooter, we have Panapasa. At goal attack, captain Rauluni. She is sitting there third on centre pass release, doing a lot of work. Tromba at wing attack, Fisher at centre, Nalo at wing defence, Nawai at goal defence, and Katoa at goalkeeper. We're looking to see what she can do against that 6'8" shooter, Sivalingam for Sri Lanka.
So look at this 18-year-old Lydia Panapasa as she awaits her time on court. She's had a very good tournament so far. 130, yeah, and there are numbers you can see for yourself. Actually, even a higher percentage than Sivalingam. Let's see who comes out on top shortly.
Please welcome your match umpires onto court, Lillian Maturin Cameron and Terence.
So we are set here on day 6 of the Netball World Cup. The Fiji Pearls in the blue, Sri Lanka in the gold.
Under 14 national school champions. Okay, are we ready? First match of the day, Sri Lanka v Fiji. It's game on.
Sri Lanka away in this game, the beginning of day 6. And this game's so important for both teams. They need to win it if they can get up into that playoff position for 13th and 14th.
Yeah, Vicky Wilson was saying earlier how this was a must-win game for them. They want to be playing for that 13th spot.
And so much on this young woman, Episaka Kahatoka. She has got Tarjini Sivalingam to take care of today. And she's going to have to be careful, Kahatoka. She's got the most contact calls so far in the competition. And the one behind her is this goal kick for Sri Lanka, Jayasuriya.
Yep.
So Jayasuriya gets the win that time.
Yeah, great start to the game. How she propped up in front, held that front straight and was able to go up for that interception.
Advantage obstruction, goal defense. Obstruction, wing defense, penalty. Elbow.
So turnover this time by Sri Lanka.
Being forced to the edge of the circle and not having an opportunity for a pass, hence the 3-second call.
Contact goalkeeper, penalty pass. Yes.
Panapasa adds one more and gets Fiji on the board. When I say adds one more, that's already to her impressive total. An amazing, Pam, stat really coming into this game. These two countries had exactly the same number of attempts at goal. 289 over 5 games. Sri Lanka, though, with the greater accuracy, so they've actually scored more. But that's incredible.
Yeah.
Advantage early entry,
great positioning, just coming round, especially against such a cool, tall shooter there.
Well, no doubt Fiji will have done their homework and they will have realised that Sivalingam, while she's a deadly shooter, she isn't the greatest mover in the game.
That's it. Yeah, she's good when the ball is placed directly in over her head. She doesn't move her feet, as well as we see some other shooters of different natures.
Now contact call against Panapasa.
Advantage obstruction. Offside.
Now that's a better ball and a better take from the youngster.
Yeah, lovely feed. Right into that back space, making it so difficult for the goal defence and goalkeepers to mark those balls.
Oh, and again.
And that's where you see the movement that lacks from Singalewa. If the ball is not pinpoint accurate, it tends to be taken over by the defenders.
And Keller and Nawai at goal defence for Fiji had done a good job of getting right up over that pass, so it was difficult for the feeder to get that ball right in the first place.
Throw in.
Sri Lanka have never beaten Fiji at the World Cup. They've played 4 times, each time a win for the Pearls.
Contact goal defense. Hold. Back up. Yes. Contact. Goalkeeper, penalty pass. Yes.
When she's right under that post, she's so accurate, isn't she?
Nothing much anyone can do, I don't think. Gosh, and Lydia Panapasa, she's so grown in confidence over the last, well, few weeks really. She was in a
Advantage obstruction.
warm-up competition, if you like, in New Zealand
Obstruction, goal defense.
last month.
Penalty pass inside.
And she is twice the player now that she was then.
Yeah, at just 18 years as well. It's great experience she's getting at this level, and one that can only now just improve on.
Mendes has a little look up at the scoreboard. Here she is again.
Advantage contact, centre.
Smart play. So good how she drove down the court, using that 1-2 to get that quick possession, and then just at the last second, popping it to Singalewa.
Oh, beautiful from Nalo, except, yes, she stepped. She did the hard work. She's an exciting young player,
Obstruction, wing
Alisi
defense,
Nalo.
penalty.
Just couldn't control the feet.
Obstruction, wing defense. Obstruction, center. Penalty pass. Obstruction, goalkeeper. Goalkeeper. It's obstruction, goalkeeper. Yes.
Now, Panapasa lucky there to get another crack. Sometimes those shots are deemed to have been taken.
Yeah, you have to really keep an eye out for what the umpire is saying after she blows the whistle.
Now, this could be a real problem for Fiji. And there's another one on the floor.
Advantage contact, goal attack.
Well, look,
We can't see.
I think
Advantage
the play
contact,
needs to be stopped. Now the
Penalty
umpire.
pass, yes.
Oh, no, in fact, she's back up, Lydia Panapasa.
Throw in.
Oh, that was extraordinary. She seemed as though she was in real trouble.
Contact shooter. Penalty
Yes, and I think we all saw that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So a little bit of drama here early in this game. Kahatoka, well, she's having a field day early on.
Yeah, she's reading those balls into Singalewa so well.
Throw in. Up.
Yes, look, Lydia Panapasa is unhappy.
Yeah.
She's
Goal
called
time.
time.
Goal shooter.
And there was
Fiji
just an
injury.
incident a little while ago. Let's have a look at it.
On the whistle.
Oh, I think, did she get an elbow in the head?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you see, yeah, she, in her eye. So that's probably just put her off. As a shooter, you kind of need your eye, well, as any player on the court.
Instruction
But
center.
that must have knocked her a little bit, and I'm sure once she's got treatment on that, she'll be back.
Contact goalkeeper, penalty pass. penalty. Goalkeeper.
Mendes, that was a great no-look pass from her into Siverlingham.
So halfway mark, first quarter, 5-all.
Centre pass,
There you
Jack.
can see the attention to Panapasa. They will want her back out there. She's a great target for them.
Throw in.
This defensive end for Fiji really
Full time.
on song in terms of how they're pushing up the court, trying to keep Sri Lanka high and come out round the front for those intercepts. They're getting the tips.
You can see there, Martia Vothia on now at goal shoot. She too is a handy player. She just doesn't have the height of Panapasa.
Contact, goal attack, penalty pass.
Tell you what, she's got great pedigree. Martia Vothia, her
Yes.
mother played for Fiji at 3 World Cups. Oh, lovely tip.
She's moving her feet, and that's where you will see Kahatoa get a lot of turnover, because she'll run onto the ball and lovely return to the court for Fabia for her first shot on goal. Look at this here. So much skill level to get round the body.
Yeah, she's a player who I can't help but think will be picked up by someone, because with, you know,
Throw in.
training and all sorts of other resources that simply Fiji don't have available to them,
Yeah.
I think she could be a star.
Advantage
Definitely.
obstruction.
We have seen Bolokoro, who's currently sat on the bench for Fiji in the VNSL. She played for Celtic Dragons.
Oh, picked off by, oh, they just again can't control it. Nalo, disappointment for her.
Obstruction. Goalkeeper, both players, goal defense.
A little bounce pass from Mendes to Sivalingam. All tied up, 6-all. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter. And that was nice, a little bit of deception.
Obstruction centre. Penalty pass. Contact goalkeeper. Penalty. Yes. Penalty pass.
Just
Yes.
see Rauluni, the Fiji goal attack, just stretching the leg a bit. She is vital to their chances.
Yeah. Captain of the squad. Such a leader for them,
Advantage offside.
but
wing.
also the playmaker. She takes a lot of centre passes.
Contact center, penalty pass.
Caitlin Fisher, she's had a lot of court time too at this
Contact, goal
tournament.
defense, penalty.
Based in Australia.
Inside. Inside.
In fact, these players pulled from all over the
Inside,
globe.
penalty pass.
New Zealand, Australia, UK.
Throw in.
When you think about it, that's what a country like Fiji has to do. It's not a
Contact,
huge
goalkeeper,
population,
penalty pass.
and I think it's amazing what they do put out on court. So she's just having a double check.
Obstruction, goal defense, penalty pass, just outside. Outside goal defense, yes. Goal defense, out, yes.
Rauluni adds one more. That's her first goal of today's game.
Contact, goal
Second
defense.
attempt. 8-all. Oh, great
Nice.
support play. Hasita Mendes.
Yeah, she's been good, hasn't she, starting off this game. She's been helping on the feed, but what a pass into the circle.
And that was lovely from Torumbal.
Yeah, into Hothea.
Contact center, penalty pass. Offside, free pass.
Oh, Nalo never
Yes.
stops trying.
No, Fiji are so tight on the body, aren't they?
Contact
In
wing
this defensive
defense,
end. Pressurizing every pass.
Epi Saki Kahatoka. And there she goes again.
Contact goalkeeper.
Unlucky.
And she does not stop trying. 23-year-old now. A number of these players were in Vicky Wilson's baby pearls, they were known as, who went to the, I think, 2017 Youth World Cup, and they came fourth. Outstanding achievement.
Yeah.
And there was Vicky Wilson, the Aussie great, Bobby Wilcox, sitting next to her, used to sit next to Waitumonu at the helm of the Silver Ferns.
Yeah. I also had her as our stats when I was at Mystics. She was our statistician
Throw in Sri Lanka,
and video
yes.
analysis.
Well, she's made very sort of some interesting observations about the difference being at a World Cup with the Silver Ferns and then being at one with Fiji.
It is different in terms of the amount of resources they have, the personnel.
Oh, I think huge respect for these lower ranked countries and what they, A, in getting here, because they have to fund themselves, and then B, what they put out on court.
Advantage obstruction.
Yeah, good work, Sri Lanka.
Yeah. They just bunched everyone together. Fiji needed to create some width in that end third so that they could open up the space. But Sri Lanka all over that and causing that held ball.
Oh, how lucky. Oh, Kahatoka again. I was going to say how lucky for Sri Lanka, but in actual fact, Fiji on the fly.
Oh no, just can't get that sink on the shot. Two opportunities there off balance. But Kahatoka, how good is she?
Contact goalkeeper. The goal defense penalty. Yes.
And again! And she gets that back line.
Well, can you believe it? We're still in the first quarter. She has 5 intercepts.
Obstruction wing.
Well, they're going to have to be quick with there. Take it, take it. Well, that's a cracking end to the first quarter between these two teams. We were expecting it to be close, and it is at the break. It is Sri Lanka leading Fiji 11-10. Second quarter underway between Sri Lanka in possession and Fiji. Sri Lanka with just that one goal advantage. Kahatoka again.
Again, indeed. And such great homework she's done on Sivalingam coming into this game to know how to play her and to know how to get these intercepts.
So, Pam, what does Sri Lanka need to do? They need to change it, don't they?
They do, and I think they need to get, if they want to pass those balls in, get closer to the edge of the circle and then put more height on it. She's 6'8", plus her hands. Get it right above her and high.
Oh, good start again to the quarter for Matia Vothia.
As we see this turnover, see how low it is? And it's also to the back of her. Get it out in front, so all she has to do is stick her hands up and step a little bit forward.
Oh, too wide for Rauluni to pull in. So 11 all. Nothing between these sides. Remember, they're ranked 17th and 18th in the world. Easy ball for Vathia. The big step in. Oh, not quite enough. Rauluni, though, comes round and tidies.
Lovely shot. Great composure there. They needed that one. And she made it swish.
Fiji now in front by 1.
Throw in.
And there's Nawai with the little dab.
Yes.
very nearly for Nawai. Sivalingam adds one more. You can see, I think Torrenbout thinking about that long ball in.
Contact shooter penalty.
On the call against Vothia.
Yeah, pushing off her goalkeeper to try and get the space behind her.
Only 19, Matia Vothia.
Replay, free pass.
And that you can't do that. Well, replay is the call. Used to be there was a certain funny thing called, wasn't it? 2 bats and a catch.
Yeah.
But I think they've just covered that with replay
Yes.
these days.
Advantage contact wing.
You can't catch the ball, let it go, and then handle it again.
Oh, beautiful control from Una Rauluni.
Obstruction, goal defense, penalty pass. Goal turn.
So the
Yes.
Fiji goal defence way out of play. Here she
Bounce
comes,
obstruction
racing
defence.
back into the circle. You might have thought Sri Lanka would have made more of that.
Fabulous defensive work there in the Fiji defence. Nawai,
Advantage offside. Center.
and a great finish to reward that. Such great work rate to be able to cover the shot and then recover and cover the pass as well.
Offside on defense, free pass. Top of the circle.
So Nalo taking a slightly shorter route through the top of the circle. So it's a free pass. You can't shoot from a free pass inside the circle. You have to pass.
Lovely shot under pressure there from Mendes.
Break and wing attack, free pass.
And that's one of those unforced errors that coaches hate to see. It's your centre pass and the timing is out that you just go offside before the whistle
Advantage
is
contact.
blown.
Advantage offside. Wing defense. Advantage contact. Wing defense. Obstruction wing attack penalty.
Fiji finished 11th at the last World Cup in Sydney.
Yes, wing
So
attack.
they're not going to be able to repeat that feat. The highest
Obstruction,
they
goal
can
attack,
manage
penalty pass.
will be 13th.
With the goal
And Sri
attack.
Lanka, well, they were
Yes.
16th. That's
Advantage
the
contact, goal
last
attack.
position in Sydney. So they might be on the brink of something special.
Contact, goalkeeper, penalty pass. Goalkeeper.
Probably worth mentioning they did not have the services of Tajini Sivalingam in Sydney. All locked up again. Almost 5 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. Sri Lanka making it difficult in this passage of play for Fiji to get depth down into that shooting circle, and they have to go back.
Advantage offside wing.
Nice take there from Bothia, and a lovely shot. And that was the patience. That good shooter to shoot a ball. And it right in the right space. It dropped just in front of her so that the keeper couldn't get a tip on it.
Advantage
So there's a big
obstruction
difference, isn't it,
goalkeeper.
between those shooting numbers.
Break in, wing defense, wait for the whistle. Wait for the whistle.
Just over 9 minutes left in
Yes.
this first half. Still just the one goal between these two teams.
Throwing.
And that's the challenge for Sri Lanka, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
being able to get hold of that ball in that shooting circle. Passing has to be pinpoint.
Advantage
Sivalingam,
offside.
when she gets two hands on it, she's very strong. On the one, that's where she's a little bit weaker.
Advantage, break and goal attack.
Well, here's a chance for Fiji to pull out to a
Obstruction,
3-goal
goalkeeper.
lead.
Throw in. Sri Lanka.
Bothia, good from her, following in on the shot. Yeah, surprised that it's gone to Sri Lanka back line.
Throw in Sri Lanka. Instruction, goal
Yes,
shooter
Sri
on
Lanka
court.
finding it hard to get in court. Now they move down into that shooting third.
I like that there, how they
Contact,
just
goal defense,
spread the
penalty
play,
pass.
used the back line, but came to the other side of the court rather than keeping everything in that pocketed left-hand side.
Yes.
Good backup from their defenders.
Oh, lovely from Mendes. Good support for these two teams. It's day 6, game 1. And it's relatively early in the morning, but there's a good array of spectators here. I think netball really catching the imagination of many in Liverpool.
Yeah, it's been fabulous to see
Contact centre, advance
and
on
be
the
part
outside.
of.
I think
Yes.
Liverpool too, catching the
Yeah.
imagination of many who come here for the first time.
Contact goalkeeper.
Stunning city.
Go back, go back. Yes.
First
Goal defense,
miss from
contact, penalty
Civillingham,
pass.
but strong enough to go and get her rebound and put her second attempt in.
Once again, we're all tied up, 17 all. Now Looney not comfortable, yes, just didn't get it quite right. Moved before she got that ball away.
Footwork called. You can't reground your landing foot.
Oh, beautiful work from Rauluni. She'll be annoyed with herself and now force the error. That's a sign of a good player, isn't it? You know, you make a mistake and you give up possession and then straight away you win back the ball.
Definitely, because she'll be annoyed with herself, as you said, for doing that error. But look at her here coming through the court. She sat up high in that zone, but knew she was going to attack forward. And she got a hand on it. And then the turnover for Fiji.
Contact, wing defense, penalty.
She makes a big difference to
Senator.
this Fiji team. Una Rauluni didn't play in the Commonwealth Games last year. And it was a horror show really for Fiji. They went through without a win.
So struggling though here on the shot. She's getting herself into good position.
Advantage offside wing.
That's better. As captain's got a lot of pressure on her hands and her head. And having to do a lot of work outside the circle. But she just needs to stay composed once she gets under the post with that shot so that she can breathe and get a nice high shot to put it in.
Going.
Oh, she ran out of court there, Kahatoka.
Yes. Goal defense contact.
Oh, now this looks awkward for Kahatoka.
Yeah. She's not called time or anything, as we see just off screen,
Advantage obstruction.
but just walking off that bad landing.
(2019). Less than 5 minutes in the second quarter remaining. I think the most we've had between these two sides is 2 goals.
Nice, and that's the type of ball you can feed in. Nice and high, making it lift over the defender. So Civillingham can get that into 2 hands. She held her space well, she didn't move off it.
Advantage obstruction, wing defense.
Good
Contact
effort on the
goalkeeper.
edge of the circle by Rajapaska, wing defence for Sri Lanka. Good contest. Oh, a lovely flick of the wrist from Rauluni.
More confident she looked on that shot, didn't she? Getting it high, that flick, as you say, to get the back spin.
I'm not sure where that ball was intended, but that was an easy pickup for Kahatoka.
Time. too many times offside, center. Yes.
Nice. Watch her shot here, how she gets that rhythm from her legs and the nice flick at the top. Fabulous rebound. Bothia, she saw quick that it wasn't going to go through, and she followed through for that rebound.
Instruction, wing defense, penalty pass. Come forward, wing defense. Yes.
Amarawansa on the edge of the circle, trying to decide which way to go. Can't get past Nalo, who gets the tip into her defenders.
So much pressure being put by Fiji defence around the edge of that circle.
I've got to say, I like the way Bothia has come into this game. Here's the tip that started that last goal.
Great work with her with first hand.
She's a very different shooter, isn't she, this young lady, Bothia? A bit more mobile than Panapasa.
A bit shorter, so lacks the height in terms of a target shooter, but she's moving her body well.
She's up against a very experienced character. And Jaya Surya, she's the Sri Lankan captain. '49th test today for Jaya Surya.
Contact, wing attack, penalty pass. All time. Oh,
Ball's gone missing, but they find it in the end.
On the whistle. Wing attack. On the whistle, please.
Good. You see how they're not confident to put this ball in?
Goal shooter contact, penalty pass.
And that's what happens. When you're a goal shooter and you think you're holding your space right and the ball doesn't come, you get a little bit timely and then you want to move off it, or you then cause that contact, which is what we just saw there. That ball needs to come in early if it is going to come in early. You can't hold that position. Defenders are just too good.
That's a good tip for Sri Lanka by Dissanayake, the goal defence. Oh, what a cracker!
She's doing really well in this quarter.
All time, goal shooter.
8 from
injury.
12 on that shooting stats for Raluni. Didn't start so well in the first. Only 1 from
Goal
3.
shooter, Sri Lanka.
Well, now this is an extraordinary time for a substitution. 40 seconds left on the clock, and Sri Lanka is making changes.
Wholesale changes.
And I guess they would be concerned because suddenly Fiji has a 6-goal lead. So Sivalingam goes to the bench, where they will all be in 34 seconds. Oh, Rolini, beautiful.
Really stepped her game up in this second quarter.
All time, win defense, you're consistently breaking. That's a quarter.
Taking more shots at goal
Wait on my whistle,
and improving her
please. Wing
accuracy as
defense.
well.
So Amarawansa has gone from centre to wing defence. Rajapaksa, wing defence to centre. So that's a straight swap.
Contact goalkeeper, leg. Yes, yes. Throw in.
Not enough time for anyone to do anything more. But Una Rauluni, she will be very pleased with that second quarter and her young Fijian team, because at the halftime break they are leading Sri Lanka 27-20.
Leading this one 27-20.
So just about set for our start. 27-20. Fiji leading Sri Lanka. Third quarter underway. Fiji, after a cracking second quarter, which they won 17-9. And it really all happened in the latter stages of that second quarter as well.
Yeah, really towards, as you said, the end of the game, they started to use their ball movement better. They were more
Contact, wing defense, penalty
consistent
pass,
with their
goal
control
back.
of the ball and getting that into that shooting end.
You can see now Sivalingham has left the court. Wanathelaka has moved from wing attack to goal attack, and Mendes moved across from, there she is, goal attack to goal shoot. Good strong rebound from Kahatoka. She's got a height advantage now in that circle. Something she didn't
Ball is
have
offside on
in the
defense. Throw in
first
Fiji.
part of this game.
But it didn't worry her, though, did it? She was still getting those tips. She was still getting those two hands on the ball intercepts. As we see here on the rebound.
Contact, goal defense.
Rauluni adds one more. Fiji hit 30, 10 goals now between these two countries.
Contact, goal kick, goal defense. Hold. Yes.
No changes from Vicky
Advantage
Wilson
offside, center.
for Fiji. Oh, what a beautiful take, Amarawansa.
Wow, how good was that? How she ran through that centre third, eyes only for the ball. And she was not only able to get two hands on it, but offload it to her teammate before she footworked.
And in fact, I gave it to the wrong player. It was Rajapaksa.
What for?
She and Amarawansa had
Time.
swapped.
Shooter.
Early substitution here for Sri Lanka. Sivalingham coming back on the court. Is it after those first two misses, maybe thinking they need her there?
Oh, tippy toes, Kahatoka, misunderstanding. And the Sri Lankan shooting circle.
Having all sorts of bother here with this Fiji defence.
Instruction, goalkeeper. Just inside. It's inside. Yes.
So Mendes has now gone to the bench for Sri Lanka.
Moving too soon, that's a caution. Wait for the whistle. On my whistle, please.
Wanathelaka stays put at goal attack.
Nice, Vathia. Just making herself available, presenting for that offloaded pass. Lovely feed. Ranuli again from her captain. She is that captain and she is driving forward. And a fab pass into Vathia.
Time. Wing attack.
Just a bib drop in there off the floor. Need to get that on quickly so that no one
Obstruction, goal
slips on it.
defense.
And there's the rundown now for Sri Lanka. You can have a look at the one player not mentioned. Adikun has come on at wing defence.
Footwork.
Yeah. Just grounding her first foot too early.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
Lovely long ball. Vathia shows she can jump.
Such a change from this Fiji side since that first quarter. Playing with such confidence.
Oh, I've only had one win so far at this tournament. In fact, you could say that for both these teams, both times over Singapore. Fiji 71-56. Sri Lanka 88-50.
Advantage obstruction, shooter.
Apisaki Kahatoka, she has just been a tower of strength at that defensive end, but Rauluni not that time. Jayasuriya able to pick off the ball. They need something, don't they, Sri Lanka? Something to ignite a revival.
Yeah.
Because at the moment they have not scored in this third quarter. Fiji have scored 7. They suddenly lead by 14 goals.
They're getting the ball, though, into this shooting circle. It's just that final pass or the shot that has been letting them down.
There's one. They're on the board in the second half. Oh, just, I think, went straight through the hands of Kira Nawai.
Throw in.
Oh,
Again, that's those feeds. A little bit too forced, going too far wide, so falling off the sideline. Just need to take them their time a little bit. They're presenting front position.
and look, they're the turnovers that Sri Lanka really need to make the most of. Because so often it's going to end like that if Una Rauluni has the ball.
Yeah, great elevation on that shot, nice swish through. And that is the problem I think Sri Lanka are facing this competition. They have such accurate shooters, high percentages, but they just
Contact,
don't get
defense, penalty pass.
that ball into the
Contact,
circle
goalkeeper,
enough to
penalty
be able
pass.
to
Goal defense, goalkeeper.
keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Well, that's right. And what I quite like about what Fiji's doing is that they've got two shooters pretty much sharing the load. Thea, 20 attempts, Rauluni, 19. So you don't get too much more even than that.
And that makes it difficult for the defenders because you don't know who to concentrate your marking on. You have to stick to both of them because both of them are on fire.
Oh, pick up.
Barnes obstruction,
Lovely
Wayne.
tip.
Barnes obstruction.
Good composure there. She didn't just fire that ball in, waited for the defense to move, and then a lovely underarm pass.
So just
Advantage
resetting
not
the
behind,
start.
goal attack.
I can't get over how much this game has changed.
As soon as I control, I can do
One goal in it at the end of the first quarter, and then something got into the Fijians because, my word, they came alive.
Was it Hall of Famer Vicky Wilson, their coach, giving them a great quarter-time talk? Because it just seems that mentality has changed, hasn't it?
Time.
Penalty,
Goal attack.
pass.
And there she is, one of the true greats of the game. Wonderful shooter for Australia over so many years.
Advantage obstruction. Goal.
And captain.
Yes. Oh, this looks like a knee.
Oh, and this is Kahatoka. This is not what Fiji or anyone wants to see.
No. As we just watch here, it was the ankle on the foot of Sivillingham. Just looks like it twisted her knee.
Well, let's hope it is just a
10
twist
seconds.
and nothing more sinister.
1 minute.
So many players around the world actually this season have had those dreaded ACL ruptures that take a player out for, well, a season really, isn't it?
Yeah, so I did both of mine back in the day, yeah, so 6 months I was out for each of them.
Wow, Vicky Wilson's face tells the story. Oh, and this is a real shame. Episaki Kahatoka in tears. And she has had a blinder. So much ball has been won for Fiji by this young woman. 9 intercepts, 12 gains altogether. She's just been really a ball gathering machine.
Yeah, she was one of the key influences in that second quarter, getting them back into that game and then pushing on in terms of how much possession and ball she got. And so this is really sad, and Fiji will be so disappointed to see her leave.
So Dee Bolokoro now has the job of filling those goalkeeper shoes. A real test here for Fiji to keep their momentum up.
Advantage contact, wing defense. Advantage offside, goal attack.
Bolokoro, though, experienced campaigner, tons of experience, as I just said, but a little bit shorter than Kahatoka, and perhaps not the sort of same explosive, player.
Yeah. But the defensive pressure that Fiji have put around that circle as well as what's also helped them.
Well, there's even a chant for Fiji going up around the stadium.
And this is Nalo here at wing defense. Great power and elevation, and she doesn't just tip the ball in front, she puts it into the space so that she can regather it.
Penalty pass.
So 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter. But from a Sri Lankan point of view, can they make the most of what's happened? And you can see that is easier, isn't it,
Yeah.
for Sivalingam?
Yeah, the height difference has helped.
Fans obstruction center. Throwing.
5 centimetres difference between Bolokoro and Kahatoka.
Yes.
Oh, lovely work there. Just that fake to the post, making the defender move. Quick offload to the edge of her circle and straight back under the post. Rauluni having a
Contact,
great
goal
game at
defense,
goal
penalty
attack.
pass. Holding, penalty pass. Goal defense. Yes. Contact center, penalty pass.
Oh, easy pickings for Nawai.
Throw in.
And that was well-worked defence by Fiji.
Yeah. It's the pressure that all 4 of those defenders in that end third are doing. It's making it easier for the goalkeeper to be able to get their positioning right and be able to come around for those intercepts. But again, Sri Lanka need to get that ball higher. Great jump in front by Borkawa.
Goal shooter, contact, elbow, penalty pass.
So Vathia,
Yes.
a sweet smile. Yes, it was me. There's the bench.
Fiji throwing. Sorry.
And look at how this game
Go
has
down,
changed
go.
as the quarters have gone by.
Go. Yes.
Phenomenal second one from Fiji, as we've been saying, 17-9. And now currently 14-4.
Throwing.
So not this time for Fiji. Jayasuriya will be hoping that something can get her team going.
We need to see a little bit more movement from Sri Lanka.
Penalty pass. Wing attack, go back.
As Abekun had the ball, no one was coming towards the ball for her. Everyone was behind a Fijian.
Goal.
Lucky they got the contact and they can now regroup. But like to see more from them on this attacking end in terms of options, not just one person coming to the ball after the catch has been made. Do all your work off the ball so that you're ready.
Sri Lanka.
Well, they give little away, do they? The Sri Lankan bench.
Advantage obstruction, goal
I'm
attack.
sure they will not like this situation at the moment. Trailing by 16. Oh, they're lucky to get that ball back.
Yes.
Contact, goalkeeper, penalty pass. Where you are,
Sivalingam
shooter, goalkeeper.
moves around. She knows exactly what she's doing, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Even if it is relatively close, she steps in to make it even closer because she's confident that no defender is really going to be able to get a hand in her way.
No.
But then look at the speed with which Fiji are scoring here.
It's slick, isn't it?
Contact center, penalty pass.
So that call going against Rajapaksa.
Tinkering on that 3 seconds, a lovely layup shot there. Bothia gets the ball, sees the space that she has, and a lovely layup. Good long stride in and accurate.
Contact,
Her bench love it
goalkeeper.
too.
Penalty pass, goalkeeper. Come on. Yes.
Well, I think she will be reveling being out on court. Matia Pathia, she has
Bonus
been,
break, goal
well,
attack.
stuck behind Lydia Panapasa, if you like. Panapasa getting the start more often than not.
But she's taken that opportunity. You never know when you're going to be on court, what the situation might be, how it might happen. But when you do get on court, you have to make sure you deliver. And Vothia has been delivering since she came on.
Contact goalkeeper. Goal defense, sorry, penalty pass.
And the good news for Fiji is Panapasa is sitting on the bench, so she seems to be all right. So this is, you know, just Vicky Wilson thinking, right, you're going nicely, I'll leave you out there. The worrying thing is there's no sign of Ipasaki Kahatoka. I suspect she has been wheeled straight away to the medical centre. And they will be sweating on her form. There's Panapasa on the sideline. Because if this game carries on the way it is, they will be very keen to have her services for the playoff for 13th and 14th.
Throw in, Fiji, side.
Space just opening up for Fiji even more. Sri Lanka not able to sit as tight as we saw in that first quarter.
Penalty pass.
And Fiji using that space to their advantage.
And that's an easy movement in the circle for Vothia. 24 from 28.
Obstruction centre. Penalty pass.
It's a nice split there from Fiji. Both players coming in front of the Sri Lankan defenders. So Fisher at centre had two opportunities and options to pass the ball.
Can Sri Lanka add one here? She'll have to be quick.
Goal stands.
Goal stands. So at least Sri Lanka gets something at the very end of that third quarter, but it is slim pickings for the team from Sri Lanka. It's Fiji leading 45-27. 28 in fact.
Going into Q4.
Final quarter underway. Fiji in possession.
Advantage obstruction wing.
And certainly in
Advantage
a
obstruction
very
center.
strong position in this game. 47-28. Make that 48-28 a 20-goal advantage.
Raluni starting as she finished off that last quarter. She's up to her percentage now, 76, 19 from 25.
The last time these two teams played, it was in Sydney at the last World Cup. 77-31 that day. So I suppose we shouldn't be quite so surprised by this margin.
Yeah, I guess just the world rankings sitting 17th and 18th. Look tight.
Contact goalkeeper.
And I guess that's what happens, isn't it, in these world rankings, because you sort of have teams in almost in groups. You've got that level at the top and then another perhaps drop down to the next level. So sometimes hard to tell.
Advantage early entry, wing attack.
Oh, Botakoro.
Fab tip there.
Contact wing defense.
So take a look at the Sri Lankan team. Amarawansa going back to centre and Wakagera going also back to wing attack. And Wanathalika staying put at goal attack in that circle with Sivalingam. And they've got a big job on their hands, that Sri Lankan 7.
Yeah,
Fiji.
a shooting machine down that end. Raluni. But this here from the defence, so good. They really have done their homework and practice in terms of getting up to get those tips.
Sorry, wing defense, contact, penalty pass, yes.
Better movement. Oh, but just
Goal
can't
defense,
make it sink.
Contact, penalty pass, yes.
See Emma Mualuvu now on court at goal defence. So now wide to the bench.
Advantage early
Bolokoro at
entry, goal
goalkeep.
attack.
And Mualuvu, we haven't seen a lot of
Barnes
her.
obstruction, goal attack.
Another young player. This will be just her 8th test.
Goal attack. Stay on side, wait for the whistle.
Another
before you
relative
enter.
youngster, 20 years of age.
Goalkeeper, contact, penalty pass, goalkeeper next side.
So here you can
Advantage
see
taken.
the changes. Gosh, Nalo at wing defence for me has been a standout. Sevutia on court as well at wing attack for Fiji.
Obstruction, wing defense, penalty pass. Yes.
This setup that the shooters have had for Fiji in the circle on a penalty pass on the edge of the circle has really worked well for them because they present themselves. It doesn't have to be an overball, which defenders love, where they can try and jump up for those tips on it. It goes direct into the gut of the shooter. So they've been doing that really well this game.
There you can see Torumbau now at centre for Fiji. She's moved across from wing attack. Caitlin Fisher has gone to the bench. And I wonder if Vicky Wilson thinking that some of her frontline players have done the job. Let's get the whole
Contact,
squad
goalkeeper,
out.
penalty pass.
They've got a big game next if they want to aim for that 13th spot.
Well, the other good thing too for Fiji and both these teams, they've got a rest day tomorrow. But it's a big ask, isn't it, when you think this is the 6th game on the trot for these two teams.
Yeah, that is tough on the legs. Even if you are able to rotate your squad, you're still doing the warm-ups, you're still doing cool-down, you're still doing all the match prep, you still have to get
Advantage
psychologically
obstruction
up for the
centre.
game. That energy sapping in itself.
Obstruction,
Well, that
goalkeeper.
almost looked like Roluni replayed the ball, but not so. Jayasuriya
Yes.
having to stand down. She'll be disappointed at how this score has blown out. Five minutes gone in the
Ball is
fourth
breaking
quarter,
the attack.
53-32.
Advantage obstruction, goal defense. Advantage obstruction.
Oh, good chase by Vothia.
Oh, wow. What a shot from the edge of the circle. She's found her confidence.
Well, she makes it look so effortless.
Yeah.
There's a few shooters who are here in Liverpool
Obstruction, goal.
who do that.
Advantage.
Shanika Wharton from
Nickname
Barbados,
Yeah.
mate, comes to mind.
Long Bomb Queen.
Oh.
Great skill.
Pinpoint accuracy, getting that ball back.
Good core and strength to be able to turn in the air and pass it off. As we see here,
Breaking wing
lovely.
defense.
She gets high to give herself time.
Defense, you're in a caution already, that's now a warning. Okay?
Nice shot finished off as well.
So that was a warning, just while we were watching that replay, a warning for Nalo, the wing defence for Fiji. She must have had a caution already.
Contact, goal defense, penalty.
This for persistent infringing. Oh, nicely taken.
Contact, goal attack, penalty.
Just couldn't make that one sink.
Obstruction, wing defense, penalty pass. Advantage, wing defense.
Ah, great work, Bolokoro.
Obstruction, goal.
She's got great elevation.
And lovely timing.
Advantage, obstruction, goal
Sri
defense.
Lanka.
Oh, it's a great skill, isn't it? That ability to block shots. We see it from
Four.
the likes of Casey
Outside.
Purpur, Courtney
Wing
Bruce.
defense. Fiji, injury.
Jiva mental.
Shamira Sterling.
Yeah, so many.
The list goes on. Oh, she's having to do a lot of work.
Yeah, Waka.
Wanathelaka, and that now she has possession, waits for the jump to go through, gets the reward.
Well, from her. Only her 4th shot of this game, but she's having to do, as you were saying, so much work around in front of Sivalingam to create those
Contact
opportunities.
center, penalty pass.
30th test for her today.
Contact shooter.
So Sri Lanka, 18th in the world. They have a great rivalry with Singapore. They'll
Advantage
be playing against
obstruction,
them all
shooter.
in the Southeast Asia Games towards the end of the season.
Advantage offside, goal attack.
And speaking to the coach of Singapore, Natalie Milicic, the other day, she was saying that really is the big target for these teams. They're fully aware they're not going to come here and medal,
Goalkeeper, contact.
but they use it, if you
Penalty
like,
pass,
as a build-up, as well. They can
Goalkeeper stay.
just glean
Advantage,
whatever they
goalkeeper
can
moving
from the experience.
Yeah, such a great learning environment for them. Yes, as you say, they're not
Early
going to
entry, goal
medal,
attack.
and they're in this bottom half of the table, but each time they step on court, they learn something different. They learn how to play in those tough situations against different styles, Caribbean,
moving in.
African, European,
Center.
Pacific
Come
Islands.
up. Yes.
And so every time they do step on the court, it's great learning for them, and it adds to their toolbox.
Throw in.
So Fiji just now waiting for the error, and away they come again, the Pearls.
Advantage obstruction, center. Obstruction, goal defense, penalty pass.
Of course, the other constant for these teams is the battle for funding. And as I understand it, that the Minister of Housing, Construction and Cultural Affairs personally funded the Sri Lankan team's costs to get to Liverpool.
Wow. Yeah, and I was speaking to Vicky Wilson just after her second game as well, and she was saying how difficult it is for her and Fiji in terms of getting that court space, getting transport to get the players to training and home again. So it's really great to see them performing on this world stage, even with the resources that they do have.
Well, I think Australia came to the party and helping in their preparation with a training camp and resources, and I think it was in Brisbane, it was certainly in Queensland. New Zealand helped with the Cadbury series as a part of their preparation. So I think that's what the larger netballing countries have an absolute responsibility to do, is help the lesser nations get up.
Nice.
Advantage contact, wing defense. Contact
Impressed
goalkeeper.
with Volthaire's elevation when needed.
Yeah, outside of the circle as well as under the post.
With the keeper.
Good rebound. Third time lucky. Come on, girl.
Elbow.
Yes, I was just going to say that would have to be her ball because she had to get up off the floor.
Advantage contact.
3
center.
seconds starts as soon as you catch the ball. Oh, unlucky there. Bolacaro.
Yes.
She's quick, isn't she?
She is quick. She looks as fit as a fiddle.
Yes. So much movement.
She's in the British Army, so I suppose you would be fit.
Yes.
Now, here's a change. And I think this is Misani 1 coming on at goal shoot.
Obstruction, wing defense, penalty pass. Yes. Contact goalkeeper, just there. Yes. Advantage goalkeeper moving off.
Singapore have come better in this last quarter. Current scoreline 10-11 for the quarter. So now 11-all, and a fabulous take there after the change in the Fijian shooting end. Great positioning. Jayasuriya for Sri Lanka to get that intercept.
And you can see that's heavy. Oh, and they pick it up again, Sri Lanka. I was going to say heavy strapping on the knees of Laisani Wanga, who's come on at goal shoot for Fiji. So we've had an 18-year-old, then a 19-year-old, and now a 17-year-old.
Wow.
In the goal shoot position.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fiji are the youngest on average team. So they really working that young talent. And this is great experience for them going forward.
And I think this is what Vicky Wilson wants to do, isn't it? She wants to build the foundations because there is so much raw talent in the Pacific as a whole, actually.
Nice swing. Opens up the circle, opens up space for her in a shot that goes through the ring. Vicky Wilson will be pleased with how her team's come out today.
She'll know that there's one big battle left. As I mentioned earlier, rest tomorrow. And then you would imagine they will be having a rematch with Samoa. And they played the other day and it was a cracking game. In the end, Samoa got there by, I think, 9 or 10, 9 in fact. Oh, in fact, I'm dreaming. In fact, my maths is very poor. Thank you, Pam. It was 1 goal. That's right, and it had that thrilling end where it looked as though, and I think it was Lydia Panapasa, had done the layup, and it was just seconds too late.
Advantage early entry, wing attack.
Advantage obstruction, center. Center contact. Penalty. Yes.
And you would expect the other playoff for 15th and 16th to be between the great rivals Singapore and Sri Lanka.
Advantage obstruction.
Well, Tarjini Sivalingam has the last say, and in fact, Sri Lanka take the 4th quarter, 15-12, as they did the 1st quarter, but simply not enough. Fiji too strong. They beat Sri Lanka 59-43. Well, what an amazing middle of the match for Fiji. 79 and 28, those two centre quarters.
Yeah, really, really strong from them. How they came out of the blocks into that 2nd quarter, they became more clinical with the ball. They didn't make as many mistakes. They got a lot of turnover off the Sri Lankan attacking end and were able to convert, which is really, really great.
So they all look pretty happy, don't they? Particularly the Fijians. And why not? They know that they are probably heading for a rematch with their Pacific neighbours. They've taken the game 59-44. Now, I can tell you the player of the match, Episaki Kahatoka, and I'm afraid there will be no interview with her because she's at the medical centre being assessed because it looked really nasty.
This is where she just was so phenomenal in that goalkeeper position. How much pressure she put on Sivalingam. 6'8" goalkeeper. You would think those balls would be raining in, but she was just on that tip. 9 intercepts, 2 deflections, 2 round rebounds, 2 pickups. But this was where she went down.
And we just hope it is not too bad. There she is as she's wheeled from the court.
So the stats pretty even on the shot percentage, but it was the amount of opportunities that Fiji had, 73 to 54. That was based on the turnovers that they were able to get. 38 Sri Lanka gave away. The penalties, high for Fiji, but they were able just to keep pulling on and pushing through in that second and third quarter, which won them the game.
So in the end, it was a 15-goal advantage for Fiji. Now, there she is, Kahatoka. And it's, well, look, who knows? All we can do is hope for the best for this exciting young goalkeeper. Let's go down now and hear from her coach, Vicky Wilson.
Well, Vicky, an important second win in a row there. A strong team performance across the board. How pleased are you with how your team are looking on court?
Yeah, absolutely delighted. We knew yesterday it was a good performance, but we need to be so much better today, particularly after the way Sri Lanka played against Samoa. I thought defensively we're a lot stronger than what we have been all week. Got our hands to a lot of ball. We gained the ball 21 times in the first half, and that really set us up well for that second half.
Defensively, you were looking phenomenal. A heartbreaking looking injury to Kahatoka. We've just seen her on crutches, heavily strapped on that knee. Obviously gutting for her to pick up that. Do you have any idea just the extent of that injury?
No, I haven't spoken to the medical staff yet, but we're really fortunate we've got a great medical team here, and if she's okay, she'll be back out on court, but fingers crossed.
Well, we wish her well and we'll keep our fingers crossed for her. Likely a rematch then with Samoa for the placings. They beat you by 1 goal last time. What changes will you make looking ahead to that match?
Well, firstly, I think a day's rest. We've had 6 consecutive games, so it's really tough on all the girls. So we'll just recuperate, have some really good recovery. I think just look at a few areas where we let ourselves down in that game, and I think particularly defensively we weren't getting enough ball. So if we can carry on today's form into the next day, I think we'll be fine.
Well played today. Enjoy your day off. I'll just bring in Tilaka Jinandasa, the Sri Lankan head coach. Tilaka, that one so close in the first quarter. Good play in the fourth, but it really ran away from you in the second and third, didn't it?
I think the match caused the second and third quarter. I think the girls lose focus, maybe feel like they are lack with fitness to stay in focus and keep going on the maintain rhythm, the game rhythm. So that cost us second and third quarter, cost us the game.
Focus is something that you've cited a couple of times after losses this week. Do you think the intensity of this competition, having played 6 days in a row, is just catching up with them?
I think that's cost us. Actually, we never played the 6 games in a row. I mean, it's not just a game, it's very intensive, very competitive games. The players really need to work more on a woman fitness, I think, in future tournaments. So we need to play more competitive games like this nature.
Playoffs, then how important is it for you to get the highest ranking possible coming out of this tournament? How important is it heading into the playoffs that you get the best ranking possible?
Yeah, the next game is, I think, very important for us. So just we have to play our usual game in the last game. So it's about keeping on the rank or the same as, at least not to be in last, to be in before.
Well, you've earned a very well-earned rest day. Enjoy it. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.